All right, so like I said, today we're gonna kind of be doing quote unquote bodybuilding today. Quote unquote bodybuilding just because the style of what we're doing is reminiscent of what a lot of bodybuilders will do, and that'll be hitting the same muscles different ways and really feeling the burn, using a rep scheme that will promote muscle growth. The point of bodybuilding, the sport of bodybuilding, is the aesthetic sport. You know, people get judged by how they make their bodies look, which is fine. I've never really been interested in that, but quote unquote bodybuilding or hypertrophy work can be really useful for weightlifters as well. As long as you're using full ranges of motion and you're doing it with intent, it can be very useful. So today we're going to be doing basically a ton of stuff for your triceps, which is this muscle on the outside here, and a little bit of biceps. We're doing some curls. We're going to throw in some sit-ups just to kind of give our arms a little bit of a break in the middle. But the whole purpose of this is having strong triceps is going to give us a very good, very strong extension overhead, speaking of weightlifting. And having strong biceps is going to make it less likely that we're going to hyperextend our elbow. If you have someone who's like super mobile and they extend too much, then having, you know, isolated bicep work can help alleviate some of the problems with that. Does that make sense? Yes. Cool. So that's kind of the reason that we're doing this. And a nice side benefit would be stuff like this makes your arms look really nice and muscly. So everyone likes to look good too. So we're going to get a little bit of a warm-up, just a general warm-up. We're going to be doing a rep scheme that's going to warm us up pretty well anyway. But before we get to that, you're going to grab your stick. You're going to get a nice wide grip, put it over your head, and give me a few overhead squats. Oh. We're doing nothing overhead today in the actual workout, unless you call, well, technically speaking, yes, we're going overhead, but it's going to be in a sideways fashion. We're going to be doing floor presses, we're going to be doing skull crushers, but not overhead in this fashion. We're I'm going to put that down. Next, we're going to open up our chest a little bit. I've been liking this one a lot lately, where I'm just going to get my hands open like so. I'm going to bring them out in front, point my thumbs backwards, open up my chest, hold out for like 3 seconds, and then bring it back, and do that repeatedly. Really simple movement, but all we're trying to do is get our chest used to opening up a little bit, considering we're going to be closing our chest a lot today. And this is a good one in general for anyone who spends a decent amount of time sitting down anyway. If you work at a computer, inevitably you're going to end up hunching and shoulders are going to be going and you're going to be doing whatever. No matter how hard you try, you know, you're almost always going to end up doing that for at least a little while. Give yourself and give you a hug. Twist a little bit. Don't overtwist, just get a little bit going. Up and down. And we're not going to be doing so much with the hip today, but just because it's good for warm-up, we're going to do some weightless windmills. So you put one hand up, your toes are pointing away from that hand, and you're going to get your hip out of the way, Let the other hand creep down your leg and go back and forth. Even without any weight, this is a nice warm-up. Gets a good range of motion in both your shoulder and your hip. Go ahead and switch sides. Okay. So we're just gonna get right into it. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different exercises. We're gonna do each of them 12 times, and we're gonna do that for 3 rounds. Okay, so 6 times 12 times 3, I don't know how many reps it is. It's gonna turn into a decent amount of reps. So the first one's gonna be a double kettlebell curl. You can absolutely do this with dumbbells as well. I'm gonna first show how to do it with kettlebells. I'll show you both a few different ways, and then I'll talk about just doing dumbbell curls. So with a double kettlebell curl, the reason this is beneficial, doing curls with a kettlebell rather than a dumbbell, is the top position. So like if you pretend that this is a dumbbell, and you could just do, you know, a regular dumbbell curl, which is fine. The top position, everything's stacked, so it's easy. It's almost like a break here. We can get more time under tension if we have a kettlebell, because when we curl the kettlebell is still trying to pull us down. So my bicep is still working for the full range of motion. That's why a lot of times when people do curls with dumbbells, they might even stop here rather than come all the way up, just to keep that time under tension. But we can get that time under tension and have the full range of motion by using a kettlebell. We're gonna do double. So without any weight first, I wanna talk about, we're gonna use a tiny little bit of hips here. So I'm gonna have a wide stance, so I have room for the kettlebells. I'm gonna have my palms facing toward my body when I grab them. I'm just gonna get a little tiny hip up, and that's gonna create just a tiny bit of momentum, and then I'm gonna turn my palms up and curl the kettlebells up like so. So I'm gonna do that with the actual kettlebells. I'm gonna have a wide stance, so I have a little bit of space for the kettlebells. I'm gonna set my hips slightly back and just give them just a tiny nudge. I still want my biceps to do the majority of the work. Curl, and then control the descent and turn the palms at the bottom. Curl, control the descent, turn it at the bottom. That makes sense? Now you only have one kettlebell, don't you?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, you got options. Especially considering that this can become actually rather difficult, you can absolutely take the hips out of the equation, grab the kettlebell by the horns, tuck the elbows, and literally just do a curl with one kettlebell like so. Now, I want to make sure that your elbow, they're tucked in and they're slightly in front of your body. Don't let your elbows come more towards your back like this, because then the range of motion is going to be small and it's going to take a lot of the weight off of your bicep when you're trying to make your biceps work. So your elbows are going to be slightly in front like so, tucked in, and you can just curl and get that full range of motion. Give that a try. Super easy, right?
Yeah.
Now, if that is too light for you, and I know you have a few dumbbells, you can absolutely just turn this into a dumbbell curl. We're getting a little bit of rotation with the kettlebell. So what you can do is, if you pretend this is a dumbbell, just like I just said, your elbows should be slightly in front, just like that. You can have the dumbbell pointed this direction, and then when you curl it up, you're just gonna turn it slightly So it's like, so there's a name for this, type of curl. I forgot what it was. I used to do them all the time. Yeah, I forgot the name of them. It's a thing. Give that a try. Beautiful. I love it. So the plan is to do 12 of them. That's probably going to start. It's gonna start to hurt for me, I'm sure. If you can't get all the way to 12, technically I'm happy with anything between 8 and 12. Okay, so as long as you can at least get 8, by all means keep doing what you're doing. If you can't get 8 with the current weight, then take the weight down. Okay, so like I'm going to be having a pood in each hand, and if I can't do that anymore, I'll probably take a heavier kettlebell and just do a single kettlebell with both hands to take the weight down. That's my plan. Are we all good with that?
All good.
Awesome. After we do 12 curls, we're going to do 12 kettlebell push-ups or just push-ups. With the kettlebell push-up, I'm putting the kettlebells, you can do this with dumbbells too, about shoulder width. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to have a bigger range of motion for my push-up. It increases the difficulty dramatically. We've done these before, so I'm just going to, I can let my chest go rather low and get that full range of motion there. We're going to do 12 of those. Any questions with that?
Nope.
Awesome. Again, you can absolutely do these on the floor. Just normal push-ups are fine. You can do them with dumbbells. You can put books on the floor. You know, anything that increases the range of motion even a little bit will increase the difficulty of the push-up dramatically. After that, we're going to take a quick break from the weights. We're going to do 12 sit-ups. Sit-ups any way that you want. They're only really programmed here just to give our arms a short break, because once we get done with the sit-ups, we're going to be doing floor presses. So floor presses, this is nothing new either. If you're doing kettlebells, you're going to have the kettlebells by your hip. You're going to grab hold. Notice that my elbow is already bent. I'm going to keep my elbow bent and just kind of lean back to get into this position here. That's the safest way to get into this position. From here, I'm going to go into a bridge to increase the range of motion at the shoulder, and we're just going to do floor presses, 12 of these. Any questions on that? Again, that's nothing new.
I'm good.
All good? Excellent. And the last thing that we're going to do is the skull crusher. Skull crushers are evil. So a skull crusher it's called the skull crusher because normally, well, I prefer to do it with a barbell, and I'm going to be laying on my back. I'm going to hold out the bar in front of me like so, and I'm going to point my elbows forward. So right now they're pointing down. I'm going to bend the elbow, and usually I would have the bar touch my forehead, hence the skull crusher, and then bring it back. A little bit of weight goes a long way with this. Like, this is not a heavy lift. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a single kettlebell, and I'm going to hold it by the horns upside down, like so. And from here, I'm going to point my elbows forward or towards my legs. I'm going to try and keep my elbows where they are, and I'm just going to try and bend that and bring it back. Hence the name skull crusher. Now, you have a homemade kettlebell. I would not recommend doing this with do-it-yourself equipment. Okay. For obvious reasons, okay? I would recommend doing something that you know is not going to break. So you can take your dumbbells or a dumbbell, depending on how heavy your dumbbells are. So if you are using 2 dumbbells, I'd recommend holding it this way, just going to the side of your head like this. Or if you have 1 dumbbell, you can absolutely hold it like so and do a skull crusher that way. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Awesome. So again, we're going to do all these exercises for 12 repetitions, and then we can take a short break between rounds. I wrote 2-minute rest. I'm just going to do the rest by feel. It's basically whenever we're ready. Short rest is fine for something like this. Are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. And by all means, if you want to change up weights at any time, go ahead. If we get done with one round and you're like, this is easy, by all means add weight, or this is too hard, by all means take weight away. So I'm going to grab my kettlebells, and we're going to start with double kettlebell curl. You're going to be using dumbbells. Here we go. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Whew. 9. 10. 11. Last one. Ooh. 12. I'm not sure if 12 is going to happen in the next round. If you're good with that, we're going to do push-ups next. 12 push-ups, either on the floor, or on kettlebells, or any kind of deficit. 12 of these. After that, I'm going to be doing sit-ups any way that you want. I'm going to keep my arms still and my legs straight. Good. If you're with me, and this isn't really a timed thing, so if you need more time, take more time. After sit-ups, it's going to be the floor press. So I'm going to raise my hips. Control of these. And the last one, if you're with me, is going to be skull crushers. So I'm going to take one kettlebell, hold it by the horns. Trying to keep my elbows pointing forward and as straight as I can. And my arms are feeling the burn. How you doing, Paul?
Pretty good.
Awesome. You done with the first round?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we're just going to take a little short break, try and let our arms recover just a smidgen, not too long. And then we're going to do this 2 more times. The curls were the hardest thing for me. I'm not sure if 12 is going to happen this time, but like I said, as long as it's at least 8, I'm happy.
The skull crushers were the hardest for me.
Which one was?
The skull crushers?
Oh yes, skull crushers are really brutal. I actually really like them. I have a workout that is called Shoulder Death Day, but it's probably poorly named. It's more like Tricep Death Day. It involves like 2 different types of benching, dumbbell overhead presses, skull crushers, and some other stuff. It's really rough, but it's also really fun just because your arms just feel destroyed afterwards. Once we get back into the gym, I'll probably start doing that again. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. You good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, so round number 2. At least 8, hopefully 12, starting with the curl. A slow descent, a controlled descent is important here. That's 8, I think.
I think that was 8.
9. I think 10's all I got. If I did another one, it would have been really ugly. Okay, going to kettlebell push-ups. arms just a short break for some sit-ups. Again, I'm keeping my arms close, legs straight. Love these. Then floor press. The hips in the bridge. Double leaps. Well, finishing it off with some skull crushers. Oh, feel the burn. How you doing, Paul? You done?
Yeah.
Excellent. How was that, man?
Still the skull crushers.
Yeah, skull crushers are hard. I remember the first time I ever tried it, and it was just like after 3 reps, my triceps were just screaming, like, "What are you doing?" Like no amount of push-ups prepared me for them. Okay, so just like before, we're gonna just take a little rest. We're gonna do this one more time. That's all we got today. Nice upper body pump day.
Oh,
This is so stuff like this, like you don't necessarily have to do this many exercises, but a lot of times, like if I'm writing a program, I might have so if I'm writing a program for, let's say, Olympic weightlifting, I might have a big list, and I might be very specific with what I want you to do with your squats and your clean and jerks and whatever. I'll have very specific sets and reps and percentages and all that jazz. And then at the very end, I just might write a bodybuilding, upper body bodybuilding, you know? And this is kind of stuff that you can do for that. So you'd have the freedom to kind of choose, hey, I really like skull crushers. So since it just says upper body bodybuilding, after I do all this Olympic lifting stuff that's very organized, I'm just gonna go do 3 sets of 12 skull crushers and I don't know, maybe some curls. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it is really good to have stuff like this in your back pocket, and it does make a difference. These small little things can really help with longevity. A little bit of mass always helps. We got one more round.
Last round.
Last round. Same thing as before. What did I get? I think I got to 10. I think I got to 9 or 10 of the curls in the last round.
I think you got 10.
I'm gonna be happy if I get 8 this round. All right, last round, starting with curls. Here we go. Four. Five. 6. 6. Oh, great. All right, one more. Ooh. Okay, I'm happy with 8. 8 was the minimum that I wanted. And then push up. Here we go. Whew. When push-ups are done, do the sit-ups. Into the floor press. Front bridge. and then ending it with your favorite skull crushers.
Yep.
Feel the burn.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I'll have a day kind of like this where I do a ton of exercises just on one kind of body part. I don't do it very often. It's kind of like if I'm between programs and I just want to get a burn going. Excuse me. I will a lot more often do like what I described to you earlier. That's I'm done with all my weightlifting. I'm going to end with like 2 exercises like this. It's just something to do at the very end. The actual choice of exercise is going to depend more on things that you feel like you could benefit from, or just like some of my favorite things to do would be I really like skull crushers because again, getting that really good extension of the elbow is super good for weightlifting overhead. And it's a really good time also to do like one-legged things like Bulgarian split squats are a fantastic kind of time to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. It's always good to have these in your back pocket. Always good to mix it up. A nice variety of exercise is a good way to keep yourself injury-free. So you're not doing the exact same thing over and over again. As far as any kind of mobility stuff to do, if you feel like your triceps are dying, you can absolutely take either a foam roller, or if you really want to hit yourself, you can take one of your kettlebells or dumbbells, put it down, and then, you know what, I'm going to have the bigger ball part, the kettlebell face down. And I'm just going to take my tricep, dig that in there, loosen that up a little bit after we were very mean to it. Normally a bicep doesn't bother me. If it does, I'll take a barbell and just put that right on top. I don't have a barbell here. That's something you can do if you feel like your triceps are killing you. Other than that, just let your arms relax a little bit. They should be fine. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Nope.
Okay. Fantastic. Thanks for coming, Paul. That was fun. Tomorrow, I believe Lauren is getting people to work out at the park.
Yes.
I wanted to say it was Niwa.
Yeah, by
sure.
next.
Yeah, shouldn't be too hard to find. Absolutely just double check the post on Facebook. That should be fun. I'm not sure if I can make it because I'm usually busy at that time, but you should totally go. It'll be fun.
You know what she means by bring your favorite toy?
Yeah, so I can actually, hold on. I can tell you exactly what she's going to do. So there's going to be shuttle runs, burpees, and it's going to be kettlebell, dumbbell, or odd object ground overhead. So bring something that you can pick up off of the floor and put it over your head.
Okay.
So kettlebells, dumbbells, sandbags, backpacks full of stuff, anything that you want to pick up from the ground and put it overhead, bring that.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, Paul.
You
Thanks
too.
for coming. Until next time.
Till next time.